once again, I need these black conservatives to actually get off they grifting high horse and actually read some books. And if you don't know how to represent black culture and black history correctly, then maybe you shouldn't have one of these in front of your face. You don't need to be speaking for black folks. Do not call yourself a black conservative if you don't know what the first meaning of that black means. So when it comes to black conservatives, okay, and then maybe I should start like a series of critiquing every single major black conservative, okay, and I want to say, I really want to say that there has to be a few that I'm just not known of. You know, like it has to be some black conservatives that are not grifters, opportunists, okay? Because that's where the money's at, no doubt. Trust me, all you gotta do is create a YouTube video of why I left the left. Or even better yet, like, now I'm a black conservative. You know what I'm saying? You do that, I bet you within a few months you're going to be a host on Fox News. You know, and they're going to be looking at you with the puppy, you know, sad eyes and be like, oh, why did you leave the Democratic Party? They treated you so unfair over there. It is weird to me. And watching what we're going to watch now, after I watched it, I was like, this is weird. We need to have this conversation because one, this is the party, the Republican Party, always crying day in and day out about identity politics, okay? Oh, you know, everything's all about race and blah, blah, blah. But these individuals would literally brag and put it into their branding that they are black conservatives. Why can't they just be conservatives? But no, they have to emphasize, capitalize on their skin color. And they got the audacity to call other black activists race hustlers. It is weird to me that they don't see their own hypocrisy in their own title or how they represent themselves. I mean, this is beautiful on how humans can be so trash. And just seeing it unravel in front of your very eyes, that's why I love this technology. You get to see that happen in real time. You know what I'm saying? And I got a few notes here. When listening to these types of videos, they always hit on the three main things to kind of make it seem like they're different from other black folks. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I know all black folks are not the same, yada, yada, yada. I get it. But these type of individuals like to distance themselves from the majority of black folks. Because we know black folks, they voted for the Democratic Party, which, once again, that's an interesting conversation we can have, which I have already created videos. So save me the tears. But it's the reason why black folks voted for 87% Democrat Party. You know what I'm saying? So they like to distance themselves from other black folks. And they use these three things: victimhood mentality, which, trust me, we're going to get into that. Financial independence, because everything always revolves around money, and that's why people don't have any dignity, no self-respect, no principles, no values, no morals. They can't stand on principle. They can't stand on business whatsoever. They need to go to the store with all this financial freedom that they got and buy 10 toes. Buy 10 toes, and maybe you can stand on something. But hey, okay. We're not even into the video yet, okay? And then self-responsibility, okay? Because black people don't know how to take care of themselves and understand responsibility, you know? But let's get into the video.
That they started out Marxists or liberals. Thomas Sowell was a Marxist. as a young man. Candace Owens says she was a liberal. I don't get that impression with you. What was your journey? How did you wind up where you are politically?
Yeah, so I've always been on the social conservative side of things, growing up in the South, two-parent household, traditional family values. So, I've always kind of been more socially conservative in my viewpoints. But when it comes to my political identity, I really developed that in college, going to UNC Chapel Hill and having gone through the racial protests that were happening at the time Obama was in office. People wanted to take down the Silent Sam statue. They wanted to rename the buildings and stuff like that. And at the time, it was a very personal journey for me, being black and on that campus where you have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
history. And I feel like at the time I was being sold a victimhood narrative, and I kind of internalized that a little bit until the second half of my college career when I really got into financial literacy. And the more I started to study financial literacy, I started to understand the importance of personal responsibility and just looking to kind of develop more of my core ideology about who I am as a person. And I connected that to politics to a certain extent, reading more about modern conservatism, like for example reading about Edmund Burke and the connection between religion and tradition and culture and the state, and then reading other people like Booker T. Washington and how he
Mm-hmm.
viewed race relations coming up through slavery, Thomas Sowell obviously, but more so than any.
So once again, he is spouting out artists or writers that only have or fit only one perspective. What about the W.E.B. Du Boises? What about the James Baldwins? What about the Cornell West or the Michael Eric Dysons? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, it's always just, oh, I had to read these particular people to understand self responsibility and understanding how to move through this world, as if there isn't credible black folks that have already lived 2, 3 times our life and have a whole different perspective than you. The Black Panther Party of Self Defense. Listen to Hewitt P. Newton. Listen to them. They will tell you exactly why they thinking and what they thinking. But okay, let's continue.
Anything. It really was just working in the financial services industry, which is really that, along with my own studying and my own kind of personal journey and trying to get out of this victimhood mindset. I was like, you know what? Like, let me kind of develop myself ideologically. And it really helped. My second half of college, I did a lot better than the first half, and that's because I applied myself and I just took responsibility for where I was at. And, working in the actual private sector, it just became more clear to me kind of where I was and where I was leaning in regards to my politics. And I decided to speak out about politics due to dissatisfaction with the current state of the country, specifically during the BLM protests that
Ah, of
I
course, of course.
vehemently disagreed with. And I decided as a black person, a black voice or whatever, that maybe my opinion, my viewpoint would add some valuable perspective for what was a very controversial time period in 2020.
So now, what were you doing in financial services?
So I was working in investment management. So essentially, I started off helping people make basic investment choices and construct their portfolios, and then got elevated or promoted
Okay,
Vanguard. So I was working with
come on.
ultra high net worth individuals, whatever you want to define that as, 1 million, 5 million, 10 portfolios. So basically, I was working in private wealth management, and I got to observe the behaviors and the patterns of the rich, and how they built
Mm-hmm.
wealth, and that really impacted me in regards to my own personal ideology.
How so? Like what?
So once again, that's and I haven't listened to this half of it. I kind of want to give my own real reaction. That is a problem. Is when you analyze and magnify rich people and then try to extract something of value from that and put that into a political ideology, your political perspective, by analyzing rich people. I mean, once again, like, hey, I'm not telling you how to dictate your life morally, but I'm just saying this is why he does not care about black people. He doesn't care about people in general, because if you're analyzing rich people, wealthy people, 9 times out of 10, they don't care about nobody else except for themselves. Hey, history. Hey, we don't even have to look at history. Look at what's happening today. That is pretty simple. Okay, but we gonna make it. We gonna make it through this video.
What
Let's
did
go.
you see that formed your politics?
Well, first and foremost is that a lot of them weren't necessarily born into riches, right? A lot of people actually were regular normal people who were working regular normal jobs, and they were able to build wealth by being frugal and just working hard and saving and living below their means and embracing work. Okay. And I think that is what really kind of led me down a more conservative path when it comes to my
Now,
politics is really just
that's the weird one. Once again, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Why are we saying these words into this sentence? For what reason? Why are we pretending as, applying yourself, working hard, taking advantage of opportunities and going after your goals and being successful is only a conservative thing? Once again, he took something that anyone on the political spectrum, Republican, Democrat, and anybody in between, you can take something like that that's valuable of what you just said and just let that be. But he had to force that line to connect that dot to, and this is why I decided to be a conservative. And that's what really irks me. That's what really bugs me, is why are we allowing Republicans to own something like that? Because you can't tell me, you look me in my face and tell me I'm not an individual that don't apply myself by every fiber of my being. If I told you where I started from to what I have now and what I'm able to do with the money that I make, and being married 15 years with 3 kids and 2 grandkids, just off of my income, it will blow your mind. Blow your mind. 2 individuals married are struggling more than myself. And guess what? I'm a progressive. I'm a progressive. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. We cannot allow these people to dictate and control the narrative of this is what it means to be a conservative, in implying like if you're not a conservative, you can't do X, Y, and Z because you don't understand some things. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work with me. I'm sorry.
being in that industry and just observing the patterns and behavior of successful people.
Okay.
And when you're black and you're in a situation like that, you kind of can pick up on the differences between successful and unsuccessful people. And I think that's a big deal.
How do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that the habits of people who generally are more well off, again, they're just better with their money versus people who are not. I mean, I think most people, they're not very good when it comes to financial literacy and building wealth. And I think a lot of people want to blame society for the reason why they're in their current situation or their current.
They want to blame society for their current situation. Okay. Well, guess what? Like, hey, if you're new to the channel, guess what we do over here? We read. We have facts, we have data, and we have history. There is no argument that I'm ever going to have if I don't have the facts to back me up. Then I just won't talk about it. or I'm in the background learning about some things, and then present that to you once I have some information backing me. Okay, that's what you call business. But let's let's go through this real quick. So in 2023, the poverty rates in the United States were as follows. Black Americans 17.9% live below the poverty line, while white Americans 7.7% live below the poverty lines. Now tell me, how does that make sense when black folks only make up 12 to 13%? I'm just saying, like, I mean, of course, you can dig a little deeper, but just based off those numbers right there, you telling me black folks just want to live poor? Is no historical reason on why some of these areas before I was born was already impoverished. And when you're born into an area, a community that's already riddled with so many historical, this is what you grow up in. And you don't just have the hundreds of thousands of dollars to just pick up and move into a rich area. Once again, that doesn't really dictate if you're going to be successful or not, but I got more to read. Come on now. In 2024, data shows that black families had about 23 cents for every dollar of wealth held by white families. Once again, based off that data, is there any historical events, actions by our government that may have contributed to these numbers today? You can watch this video in a year, and I guarantee you it's not going to be too much different from 2025. I'm just saying, we can't just say things and act like it's just there for no reason. Okay, let's keep going. I got some more data here for you. The median wealth for white household families is $250,400. The median wealth for black households is $24,000. $520. Okay, I got to add that in there. Hey, I'm just saying, do you think those numbers is just like they're on accident? Oh no, but you're telling me black folks just don't know how to apply themselves, right? We just don't know how to observe rich people, and because we're liberal, right? And we don't know how to observe because because they're Democrats, right? Yeah, sound like some BS to me. Yeah, you're right. When it comes to black unemployment, because black folks are just lazy, right? They don't know how to work, right? The unemployment rate in 2020 was 11% due to COVID, of course. 2021, once again, getting out of COVID, 9.6. 2022, it dropped down to 7.6. 2023 dropped down to 5.2. In 2024, it crept up to 6.1. So that means, hey, guess what? Black folks is working. Black people, we working. But maybe just in our areas, some of these jobs are low quality jobs and they're not paying top dollar like in some of these areas. Look up white flight. I mean, read some history. This was on purpose. But no, hey, this guy right here, hey, he looked shocked. He's like, oh shit, I didn't know there was history to this. Yeah, I mean, come on now. Do I got some more for you? Of course I do. In 2023, the median family household income for black families in the United States was $71,390. And that's according to Statistica, one of my favorite websites. This figure represents the midpoint of family incomes, meaning half of black families earned more and half earned less. It's important to note that this median income is lower than the national average family income, which was $100,000 in 2023. But once again, what were you saying? Let's rewind it a few seconds. Remember all that we just discussed, okay?
When it comes to financial
Hold
literacy,
on.
most people, they're not very good when it comes to financial literacy and building wealth.
Oh,
And I think a lot of people want to blame society for the reason why they're in their current situation or their current financial situation, when a lot of it really comes down to your personal choices and what you choose to do with the money that you have. It's not really about how much money that you make. It's really about how much money that you save and invest.
so if the average family is spending 50 to 60% of their monthly income only on rent, hey, trust me, there's a whole bunch of other bills below that. How much do you think individuals can save? I'm just saying. Around over 60% of Americans don't even have $300 to save. You think that's on accident? No, come on now. Hey, I'm just saying maybe this is a crazy thought. Maybe it's the system, right, that exploits people to work and give them very little. I'm just saying maybe, and then with the prices increasing because not because of inflation or supply and demand is no, because these institutions, these CEOs, these shareholders want more money. They give you less product and take more money. Money. I'm just saying, like, but no, we're just going to say it's people who can't save. It's not a complex system that we live in. No, it's not that. It's, trust me, because you don't know how to save. Come on, man, get out of here.
Um, Now, you know, the minimum wage has not increased for like decades. So, how does somebody entering in making that kind of wage even save any money to get ahead
Well,
like that?
Good
well,
question.
first and foremost, I mean, my own personal philosophy is that, you got to work hard, work smart, take risk. So ultimately, you got to decide, okay, well, what skills do I need to gain in order to get a better job to increase my income? And once I increase my income, a lot of people, when they increase their income, they also increase their expenses as well too. Okay, so you go from making 30,000 a year to 50 or 60,000 a year, and they think, okay, well, it's time to buy a new car. It's like, nah, it's not time to buy a new car, right? You still need to live in the same, you still need to live in the same house. You still need to have the same car, and you just need to save more money and take advantage of the market compound.
Oh, okay. So you want what? You want an individual, and let's not pretend like the individual might actually need a new car. Okay, let's just throw that scenario off to the side because we know that's some BS. What if they live in a very bad neighborhood and they got that promotion, or they're making a few extra dollars and they might be able to move out into a slightly better area? No, you. But once again, throw that scenario to the side because that's a no-brainer. But okay, so you're telling me people can't spend their money on things that will help them, like a car, but put that into stocks, which will turn on you in a minute, in a second. I did stocks a little bit growing up, and trust me, if you're not watching that like a hawk, you will lose your money. I'd rather put my money into a car rather into the stocks, because the stocks is not your best friend. Hey, just once again, just read a little bit. But it's just kind of weird that he didn't answer the question. And that was a lightweight question. That's going into the gym and just stretching kind of questions. We haven't even hit the bench yet. We haven't even done no push-ups yet. And he couldn't even handle that. He couldn't even do the stretching. Minimum wage has been shits for decades. And your solution, okay? Hey, black man, observing rich people, your suggestion is to stock markets. stock markets. Okay, got you.
On interest, investment opportunities, commercial real estate, a lot of opportunities out there, but people just they don't go out of their way to improve themselves and to put themselves in a better situation. I think ultimately at the end of the day, it comes down to personal responsibility, and that's what you just got to put in the work, and you got to think smart about it as well too. It's not about working hard. You got to work hard, but you also got to work smart too. And
it feels like you should have this written down. I'm sorry, damn man, have your bullet points written down so you can get what you say off your chest with some umph into it. Okay, okay. Maybe that's just my personal thing. Okay, maybe he's spitting bars. Okay, my bad. Continue.
you got to take risks.
Come see us on tour in Dallas, Texas.
Holy shit, man. All right. Once again, when it comes to this victimhood mentality, okay, and this is one of those things that really bug me. Because it's a difference between a victimhood mentality and realizing, being aware, being trivial to what's going on around you, knowing that it's only against you and other people, and to do something about it. Do you get that? I don't think you guys understand what I'm saying. Recognizing injustices and unfair policies is the foundation for striving towards solutions, while a victimhood mentality focuses solely, keyword is solely, on the problems without seeking meaningful changes. It took me about 2-3 minutes to formulate a nice sentence to get my point across. So when people use the word victimhood mentality, 9 times out of 10, they don't know what the hell they are talking about. Because would you call someone like Martin Luther King him having a victimhood mentality? And he was known for his leadership in the civil rights movement. King brought awareness to racial injustices through nonviolent protest in his iconic speeches, such as "I Had a Dream" address. So you tell me, did Martin Luther King have this victimhood mentality? Malcolm X, a powerful advocate for the black empowerment of self-determination. Malcolm X highlighted the impact of systematic racism. Okay, that's kind of weird that he's kind of aware of this thing too, and called for equality by any means necessary. I'm just saying, I guarantee you, if you was back in that time, you wouldn't tell Martin or Malcolm X that to his face. He probably rearranged the whole thing. I'm just saying. James Baldwin, through his eloquent essays, novels, and public debates, Baldwin illuminated the personal and societal consequences of racism, urging Americans to confront its racial history. Once again, someone who's probably done more speeches, written more books than the average person, you tell me he just has a victimhood mentality. I'm just saying. Angela Davis, a scholar and activist, Davis brought attention to issues of racial inequality, prison reform, and feminism, challenging the structures of systematic oppression. Once again, it seems like it's a common theme with all these brilliant, strong, black Democrats or progressives, not Republican. That's what I'm trying to relate to you guys right here, okay? If you didn't catch what I was throwing to you, I'm telling you. W.E.B. Du Bois, a pioneering intellectual, Du Bois raised awareness of the black experience through his writing, co-founding the NAACP and advocating for the civil rights and educational equality. Once again, you tell me wear this victimhood mentality, because you know what that does for me? You know what? When I read my history and see black excellence like this, that doesn't give me a victimhood mentality. If anything, that lets me know that my people have done this before, and watch me in 4K do this again. That's simple. So I am tired of these fake self-hating black conservatives that's only in it for the grip, because I guarantee you they are not good at anything else. I guarantee you. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's simple. Ain't no victim over here. You come speak to me. Show me where the victim is. I don't think so. When it comes to Black Wall Street, okay, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, in the 1900s, Greenwood was one of the most prosperous black communities in the U.S., with over 600 businesses, including banks, hotels, schools, theaters, and all owned and operated by African Americans. Hey, we done did this before. But hey, guess what happened? Despite the devastation caused by the 1921 Tulsa race massacre, that's a familiar word. It remains a symbol of black economic empowerment and self-sufficiency. Florida, Rosewood. Hey, Florida people, what's going on? Rosewood was a self-sufficient black community with flourishing businesses, churches, schools, and farms, etc. Though the community was tragically destroyed in a racially motivated attack in 1923, is a story. Its story is a powerful testament to black resilience and autonomy. Once again, I need these black conservatives to actually get off they grifting high horse and actually read some books. And if you don't know how to represent black culture and black history correctly, then maybe you shouldn't have one of these in front of your face. You don't need to be speaking for black folks. Do not call yourself a black conservative if you don't know what the first meaning of that black means. Just call yourself a conservative. Because when you say black, you're involving me. And when you're involving me, you better not embarrass me. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you continue to do that, you're going to continue to see me. That simple. But once again, guys, hey, we all about love over here, baby. We all about love and building one another. So once again, hey, thank you for watching. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.